girls, today we're talking about drafting, okay? Who can tell me what the very first step of the writing process is called? Powers.
Pre-writing.
It is called pre-writing. Who can share some things that we do during pre-writing? Look back in your writing process notes. Okay. Who can share some I cans? Brianne?
I can use the house to gather small ideas.
I can use my house to gather small ideas. Jake?
Plan.
I can plan my story. Peyton?
I can add new ideas or small moments.
Great. Alex?
I can use idea tools.
All right, great. And Miss Quarter has given you a lot of those tools. Now, if we look up here at our house, okay, this is the one that Miss Quarter did with you guys. And when y'all helped me choose my story, I did the bathroom terror. Remember, I did the one about where I got locked in the bathroom. And then what I did is I just gave some small moments. And how many do I have to have in each box?
3.
I have to have at least 3. Now, let's say that a lot happened in the beginning. Can you have 4 in the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine. Okay? But you have to have 3 jotting down ideas. Now, do we have to necessarily write the sentences? Am I writing it out?
No.
No. I'm just jotting down my thoughts. Okay? Because this is going to be the guide that is going to help me do my next step. And what is our second step in the writing process, Kasana?
Drafting.
It is drafting. What is drafting? Is a fancy word for what? Just plain old
Pre-writing.
birthday girl? Writing. Okay? We are just writing our story. Is Miss Quarter writing this story in a perfect way, spelling every word correctly?
Yeah. No.
Probably not. Okay? When we are drafting, we are just letting our ideas what?
Flow.
They are just flowing out of our head. I don't want you to get caught up in all the correct spelling and think every single second you have to go back to dictionary.com and look up how to spell something. It's okay. It doesn't have to be spelled
The
correctly.
way to learn is to make mistakes.
We're just drafting.
The way
Okay.
to learn is to make mistakes.
We don't have to have it perfect. So what I want to do today is we're going to go back over our house, and I'm going to show you and talk about our drafting that we had today. Give me a thumbs up if you all have a story in your my writing that you have started from last
What
week.
if you finish it?
Okay? If you think you've finished it,
I finished one of them, but I didn't finish the one where I made the house.
okay. The one we are working on is the one where you made the house. Okay?
I've already finished that.
Last week we worked on creating our houses, and then we talked about drafting. Now, Miss Quarter's saying is, if you think you're done,
You've only begun.
you've only begun, okay? Do not come to me and say, Miss Quarter, I'm finished. Because I'm going to say, if you think you're done, you've only begun. Because there's so much as a writer you can do. I want you to go back and see, did you add details? Did you create those mind pictures that you love to read in stories, okay? Did you do that as a writer? So there's always something that you can go back and add, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to review our house, review our drafting, and then I'm going to let you guys go write, and I want you to be finishing and coming close to the closing of your drafting, your first draft, okay? How many of you have heard the word rough draft before? Rough draft, okay? If you're thinking about something that's published, is it going to be rough? No. If something is going to be published and it's ready to go, what is it going to be?
Smooth as silk.
So tomorrow and the next day, Miss Quarter's going to tell you how to smooth out your writing. But guess what? Today, it can be rough. I want it to be rough. I want you to have ideas just flowing all over your paper. Does that make sense? All right, so let's visit our beginning, because this is the only thing I did for my beginning. Do your stories have to be 3 pages long?
Nope.
No.
But should they be at least a page or a page and a half?
Yeah.
At least. If you don't have a page or a page and a half for a story, you're not adding enough detail. Okay? All right, so let's go back and look. The door handle falling off the door. And remember, we start our story at the most what?
Important.
Important or
Exciting.
exciting time. In my story, I did not say I was sitting in first grade and had to go to the bathroom.
I went to the bathroom.
That is boring. Every first grader goes to the bathroom. But if I start my story, the door handle was falling off,
Everybody goes to the bathroom.
that's an exciting part. Okay, so we have the door handle falling off, start panicking and screaming for help, teacher or principal coming to help me and realizing I'm stuck. So here we go. Here's my rough draft. Bang. As I shook the silver door handle, the other handle fell off to the floor. A thought of panic ran through my mind as I realized I was trapped. I began to scream and ask for help. My heart was racing like horses at a derby. That's my favorite part. I began to realize I was going nowhere. I heard footsteps coming towards the door, and I knew someone was coming to save me. Did I do a good job about tackling all this and elaborating it? Remember, that's one of the I cans. We're going to stretch out the information. Okay? Definitely want to stretch out the information. Okay? Now I'm ready to go on to my what? My middle. And Miss Quarter does a really, when I write and I have to plan it out, I always mark off my little dots. That tells me, okay, I've hit that spot, now I'm going for next. Another thing I showed Alex the other day, when Alex was getting started, and this is sometimes what Miss Quarter does as well, if you're getting stuck on how to start your story, I want you to think of it as an arc. Okay?
Noah's Ark.
Start at the arc. Okay? Add up some things here. This should be the most exciting part. And then close it coming down. And then I always label beginning, middle, and end. This is just another
barbed wire.
This is just another way that you can plan your story. Does Miss Quarter still want you to do the house? Yeah. But what I did when Alex came to me, I just flipped the paper over and we did that arc, and it kind of got him going. Making sure that things were in order. Because if you take these things and you put them on the arc, they should be in order, correct? Drilling a hole in the ceiling of my school did not happen before I started to panic. Okay, so sequencing is very important in a story. You don't want to read a story and find out weird parts at different areas. Okay, so what Miss Quarter is looking for is I'm looking for expert writers who are writing the whole time. If you think you're finished, go back and see where you could add more detail. Tell more about a spot. Is there absolutely a place where Miss Quarter could go back and describe more? Yes. Could I describe the way that bathroom was? Absolutely. Can I describe my feelings? Absolutely. Okay? So what I want you to do, we're going to go over here to our I can statements. Okay? And I want your echoes on. So you say echoes on.
Echoes on.
I can.
I can.
Draft. My personal narrative.
My personal narrative.
Echoes off.
Echoes off.
Okay. Let's try that again all together. Echoes on.
Echoes on.
I can.
I can.
Draft. My personal narrative.
My personal narrative.
Echoes off.
Echoes off.
Okay. So I'm looking for friends that are doing a fabulous job writing. Okay. I want lots of expert writers to be able to share their drafts today. Remember, it does not have to be perfect. Okay. All right. I will be looking for friends to choose beanbags. You may go find a comfy spot and get busy.
I'm doing my bean bag.